Okay, welcome everybody. My name's Marcus Schubert, corporate update for June the 30th, 2023. For those of you dialing in from the USA, for those of you in Southeast Asia, Australia, it's actually the 1st of July, start of the new financial year for us down here. So today we're going to go through some really key updates and let you guys know some really good news, some updates, some improvements that have been happening and have just occurred for us, which allow us to move into the next phase of business, and then talk about a couple of things that we've been getting questions on from the community. And then we're going to round out with, what's our focus and strategy from here going forward, and what are the key items that we wanted to be looking at and moving forward with. So just to push up the presentation so you guys can see that. As mentioned, the agenda for today, start out on the PunkPanda app, the updates. We're very excited. We've actually solved some of our biggest problems on that, and that is super close. Talk about the project priorities and the strategy from here. Talk about the community power for PPM Token and what you guys can be doing to actually help yourselves. And we'll hand over to Albert, our CEO, to talk about an update on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. So starting out with PandaApp 3.0. Now, you'll probably notice if you go into the App Store, the current version is 1.1.3. So why do we call it 3.0? The reason we call it 3.0 is because when we took over the project back in the end of 2021, we had an existing app from developers out of who knows where, who had an app that just didn't deliver. So that was PandaApp 1.0. We moved to a second app, which we built on Flutter, PandaApp 2.0, which we thought was going to be the holy grail, with both Android and iOS built on one source code. Sounded like a great idea, but we always had conflicts anytime we started to actually make improvements. One thing that was working would affect something else, and it was never going to allow us to scale. So now we're on 3.0, where we have a new source code built specifically on a native application for Android and iOS. That has been evolving to the point where we are today, 21st of July, 2023, it is the best app we have ever had, which means that probably 90% of the core functionalities are all working perfectly and smoothly. So let's run through them now. We still have some improvements we're working on and to make, but the really interesting thing is we've turned the corner now primarily from fixing problems, things that don't work, to making improvements, things that work, things that look good, to things that can work even better, and things that can look even better. So we're on the home stretch. So now we have really no problems with new registrations as such. Contact sync was actually our biggest problem with PandaApp 2.0, where somebody would download the app, they would want to send somebody a message and they couldn't find them in their contacts. Now a person logs into the app, and within a number of seconds, their contacts all sync pretty much in a number of seconds. It's really exciting to see that improvement. Now, for somebody to show up in your contacts, obviously they need to have downloaded the Panda app. They need to have it, and they need to be in your contacts saved with the same international format that they've registered with the app. So the call connection was another trouble that we had with this latest version, where you would make a phone call and it would take 10 or 20 seconds for the call or the video call to connect. And that is happening in lightning speed, pretty much the same as you would with any other messaging app now. So that was a big challenge that we managed to overcome. And we're excited that that's all working quite nicely. The voice notes, when you leave a voice note, send it through, that's working nicely. Image sharing, this was our most recent breakthrough, where when you sent an image or a picture from your phone gallery, there was a couple of iPhone versions, mostly the iPhone 11, 12, and 13, where when you sent an image that was taken from those phone models and sent to an Android, had a corruption and it was causing a crash report. So that's now been fixed in the latest 1.1.3 version. So that was really one of the last key items we had to knock off as far as main problems. Text messages are working perfectly. You're getting notifications. And another thing that we fixed within sending messages is previously when you started to write a longer message, when you were writing, it would go past the size of the text box. You couldn't really see what you were writing. So now that's an expandable text box. So as you write more and more and more, the size of the text box gets larger to accommodate so you can see what you're actually writing. Notifications, I think there can still be some improvements on the notifications, but for most part, you're getting notifications when you get a message or when you get a call come through. The reply to a message, forwarding a message, and also recalling or deleting a message, that's all working nicely as well. The mining button is working perfectly. Of course, once every 24 hours, you need to jump into the mining section, click on the mining button to make sure your account is active to be receiving PPM rewards. We are going to add an additional feature to the mining button where once every 24 hours, when you become inactive, you'll receive a push notification that'll come up on your phone screen as a reminder for you to go in and reactivate your mining scenario so that your account remains active. Of course, the profile, you can go in there, you can add a photo of yourself. You've got Panda Pals where you can click on there and you can see your 12 levels, how many people you've introduced, how many that they've introduced, and so on. We're going to update the look and feel of that. It's a little bit sterile at the moment, but all of the data is there and correct and accurate. When you go to profile, top right of your app, you'll see a drop down with different options. One of those options is by PPM. That's going to be really important for us going forward because there are a number of large organizations who are looking to integrate their databases with Panda App in the hundreds of thousands of people. So the Panda App is really the first product that they'll see in our entire project. Now, for them to go, hey, what's this PPM token? It's an immediate marketing trigger for them to go, wow, these tokens I'm earning for free, I can go buy and or sell them. So there's a way for them to transition straight to Panda Farm from the app. So that's a great addition as well. You can add a status update. I do believe we need to improve the functionality of the status update and a few things around that, so it's even better. And then finally, what we are working on right now is group messages, the functionality of it, and also the user interface and the display of that. So what we're looking to do with the group messages, I believe it'll come out in the next update, which I believe will be in the next 7 days without any unforeseen problems. You'll see down the bottom of the app where you currently see messages and calls and the mining button, we'll add a little group icon so you can see all of your groups. But we'll also be looking to have, when you send a group message, you don't have to just go to the group section. It'll come up with all of your other chats, the same as it would on some of your other popular chat messengers that you're used to using. So that's going to be exciting. And really that group messages is the final piece to the puzzle. If you are experiencing any login issues or any registration issues, please send the most important information through to support, which is your phone number, your email address. At what point are you having the problem? Because some people just say, I can't log in. Well, okay, at what point can't you log in? If somebody says, listen, I entered my email address, my phone number, I received the OTP, and then it sat on the spinning wheel, well, okay, we know exactly where the problem is, and it's faster for the devs to look at your specific scenario. And another thing that would help us is if you let us know which phone model you have. There are some specific challenges we've had, as mentioned, with the photo sharing with specific phone models. Hey, listen, if PunkPanda doesn't go great, we actually might open up a phone store, because I think we own that many different phone models now from testing and having problems with certain phones that we've had to do that. So as far as our current focus and strategy, what I'll say to you is that from day one, we've always looked at ourselves as a long-term real business with a real business model, real utility cases for the token. So right now, the time is to hold your nerve, stay focused, and also believe in yourself. Now, why does believing in yourself become an important factor when you have really no control over what's going on the corporate side? Well, at some point you decided that PunkPanda was a great project. You decided that having a private messaging app where the company didn't just take your data and sell it or use it to advertise to you and make billions of dollars and give you nothing. So if that hasn't changed, believe in the decision you made that a private secure messaging app that rewards the community to help them to grow is a good idea. Now, do you think that people want that more today than they did 12 months ago, or do they want it less? I would argue confidently that people want this more and more. Believe in yourself that you looked at the PPM token as a token that was backed by some real utility cases, both now and coming down in the future, with sports fantasy, crypto sports fantasy, online gaming, NFTs, and of course, this messaging app that we can move into premium subscriptions for some additional features that I believe people are going to be excited about and want. So before we go further into this slide, just to break it up a bit, Albert, I just want to call on you just to touch on the app side of things. Any comments before we move into these next couple of slides?
I'll say this: I've been more excited over the last 6 weeks than the previous 1 year. The previous 1 year has been the longest year of my life. It's just been one small little disappointment after another, so close yet so far away. And I think the whole community can now see, because it's for the first time in the last 6 weeks to 90 days, I'm constantly getting messages. Wow, this is working really great. This is working really great. Other than we have had the issue just with basically 3 to 4 models with Android, 3 to 4 models with iPhone, and we seem to have got that all sorted out. So we're on to the groups now, and when the groups are starting to work perfectly, you're going to see a large explosion. Large. It's because we have, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more when I talk about a couple things here at the end. We got so many companies. These companies vary in size from just having like 10,000 people all the way up to 2 million that are just sitting there waiting as soon as we can put the groups together to be joining us. So I guess to sum up what your question was, Marcus, I'm more excited than I've been in over a year. These last 6 weeks have been terrific with the functioning of the app.
Thank you, Albert.
And that's what we all want, and that's what we wanted from day one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and one last thing on the Panda app that we've done in the background in the last 6 to 8 weeks is we've actually brought on a new tech person to function where our CTO was functioning. Our CTO is still present, but this individual, his name's Vomsi. He's actually been with us from day one. He actually built the back office for Panda Farm. So he's a trusted colleague, and we've brought him on to more act as an intermediate between us and the new development team. And his communication between us and the development team has really lifted our ability to communicate, to get things fixed faster, and to get a better understanding of what's happening. So that's really made an improvement in how fast you've seen these app updates being pushing out, and giving us more confidence that we're actually not flying blind as such. And we've also brought on 2 new techs that actually live very close to Albert, who come and sit with him and can help to audit the code for the Android and iOS. We have one of them is a specialist more so in Android, the other more so in iOS. So they can help audit the code. Again, it gives us another layer of visibility on our side versus just relying on the development team. And they're also able to make suggestions and also look at things for the future. So there's some things that we've done to move forward and to help us be more robust and stable in this part of the business. So as far as our focus right now, the app's at 90%. We want to get it to at least 95%, be fully firing, nice and smooth, to the point where you can go and enroll 5, 10 people like this, no issues, no challenges, no having to prompt them how to use it. Because that's the point we can start to integrate these large databases that are waiting for us that Albert's spoken about. That's also the point when we can start to do some large public marketing to new app users, because we don't want to have to explain ourselves. We don't want to have new users coming into the Telegram group and just seeing people complaining about problems and them having their own challenge that reflects what they're also seeing in the public space. That's the point when we can also start attending large crypto expos and conferences, and we can actually demonstrate our app. We can be standing there with potential investors, showing them the app. They can download the app, they can send us a message, and they go, wow, you guys are a crypto project with a real working product that I can not only use, but I want to use, and I want to show my friends, I want to show my fellow investors, and I want to take to my companies. So that's the idea of the conferences, to identify strategic investors, strategic partnerships. And some of the partnerships we'll be looking for will be directly related, not just to capital, but to future parts of the project, where the utility cases for the token are going to be very important to not only hold the token price, but to raise the token price. So organizations that fit into the sports fantasy world, who have thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of users already participating in sports fantasy, that we can integrate crypto sports fantasy. Then we'll be looking for partnerships with people in the gaming community. Again, people with tens and hundreds of thousands of people who are into gaming, who want to play NFT fighting games, which they really believe in, and they can see that they're a part of a growing community as well as playing a fantastic game. So of course, PPM token marketing, whether it be on exchanges, whether it be on CoinGecko, DEX tools, CoinMarketCap, any places like this. In fact, we were talking yesterday in the morning, had a Zoom call with one of our strategic partners who have just been taken over by a venture capital firm. Now, these guys actually said to us, when you reached out to us, it's been a little while since we've spoken to you, and we went and looked at your social pages, and we see that you really haven't been too active on social media. And when we actually started having this phone call, and you spoke about what is your full focus right now and what you've been doing in the background to get this app fully functioning perfectly, he said, what you guys are doing is actually perfect. And we're very excited. And we now have even more confidence in you and in the project, because you believe in yourself and you back yourself to say, you know what, we've got a real product here, and we're going to focus on getting that product working properly, rather than just going out and going rah, 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 and creating a whole bunch of hype that then doesn't deliver. Because they said, you know what, things are turning from what we're seeing in the marketplace. These different projects that we're either investing in or supporting or partnering with, he said, not too long ago, this time last year, you'd go to a conference and everybody's saying, oh, there's so much excitement around this thing that we're going to be doing, grab a ticket, stand in line. Whereas now companies are starting to talk about, here's the product that we're building. This is what we're doing in the background. This is what we have, versus just creating hype and fluff and bubble with nothing behind the talk. And I'll ask you guys, I know you're getting frustrated, and I appreciate your patience, but I'll ask you a serious question. Go through your crypto portfolio right now. Look at all the tokens that sit in your portfolio, or all the tokens you've ever purchased in the past, and tell me how many of them actually even have a working product. How many of them have a product that you actually would use yourself, or you are using yourself? How many of them have a product or a service that you would actually talk to your friends and your trusted, confident contacts about, because they would use it? Not too many can answer one, let alone all four of those questions. That's exactly what we have, and we're going to have more of that as we move forward. So what can you guys do to help yourselves? Because we're taking care of our side as much as we possibly can, as fast as we possibly can. Well, I believe the community focus right now should be showing strength in numbers. Anywhere and everywhere possible that you can put something in the public space, whether it's in the Telegram group, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Instagram, why not go and say something positive about the app now working fantastic? Why don't I say something positive about the fact that the PPM token's at 3 cents and it's getting ready to explode? Why not saying something positive about how cool this branding is, or how cool, the Panda merchandise is, the cap, or the Panda, PunkPanda bears, or the coffee mugs. Guys, when people look at a token, they look for other supporting information to back their gut feeling. And if they go to a space and all they see is people that are already in the community complaining, you're just slitting your own throat. You're stabbing yourself in the back. So why wouldn't you put something positive? I don't want you to lie or say something that's not true, but if you can't find something positive about the project, the product, and the token, you should leave now. You should sell everything you've got. If you do not believe about something in this project and you can't say anything positive, guys, leave now, right? I'm telling you, because we want people who are part of a community who are here to give and not only here to take, and to try and hang on to people's feet and drag them down while they're climbing to the summit of the mountain. So create as much noise as you can in a positive way, because we will get to the point where we have millions of people who are just absolutely wallpapering the online planet with Punk Panda images and messages, and we will become totally undeniable. What you don't want is to get to a point where you get back and go, oh yeah, I was one of the early guys, you know, but they took too long and I just couldn't take it anymore. We're not asking you to come to work every day. We're not asking you to do anything other than, when you do put something online, be proactive, be positive, add to the positive side of the of the balancing scale. That's all I'm suggesting. So that's enough from me. I'm going to hand over to our favorite CEO, Albert Muir, and to talk about the next few slides.
Okay, thank you, Marcus. And way to end that. And that actually plays into some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about right here. On the CoinMarketCap, I don't know, it's about 90 days ago, you see this listing here that says that there's some derogatory information from the Central Bank of Russia. Marcus, myself, and now our legal team have spent the last couple months trying to contact the Russia Central Bank, and we have never got one single reply. Our attorney has made numerous attempts by calling, sending emails, doing anything. Can I get one single reply? Yet CoinMarketCap claims that they get several responses from the Bank of Russia with several different allegations against us, which is really strange if you think about it. They're claiming, when you go to the website, that we are a financial pyramid scheme. So if you have an app that is free to download and the tokens are distributed for free for people that have downloaded the app for free, where is the financial pyramid scheme? We've had good communication with CoinMarketCap, but their stance is that I think they're going to be changing their stance here very soon with the action that we take next, is that, well, they're making reports to us and we have to report this to our community. And even though it's like they don't even read what we're sending them, because we're outlining every single thing. First of all, why is a fiat bank even commenting on cryptocurrency? Just, you know, that one stops me right there. So the whole thing is very laughable. Unfortunately, we have to get it removed, and we will get removed. So we'll just leave it at that. And then because we're going to be, this is one of the things that you could do, is absolutely just add it to your watch list. And we're going to talk about, you want to set a limit when the token goes up by 10%. So I'm going to talk more about that when we talk about CoinGecko here. So go ahead and put me on CoinGecko. On CoinGecko, they had recently removed us, and within 24 hours of us contacting them, they added us back on. And the reason was they said, well, you're social, you're not really promoting yourself anymore. And so we just simply explained to them, if you had an app and it's not working the way you wanted to, because we first listed on the iOS store in June of 2022, and then in this 1 year, we've had to rebuild another app. Would you want to go out and promote yourself where all you're doing is getting overburdened by customer service? So they completely understood that. We told them in the upcoming days, we will start making more advertising on our social media and stuff like that. And then one of the things that you'll see on CoinGecko is that it's actually saying that we have 100 million tokens. So I want to talk about this a little bit, okay? You're going to want to add CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap to your favorites, okay? Our current daily trading is very low. It's under 100,000, but that's okay. And so our actual circulating supply, though, that's the important thing to the community here, is that it states that our circulating supply is 100 million. Well, no, that's the amount that have been minted off the smart contract. And the smart contract wallet is what they're reading, which is perfectly fine. But this is like inside information. You all know that most of that is vested. If you have 5,000 tokens that you've earned in your actual app, you cannot withdraw all of them. So they're on a vesting schedule. So the closer number is about 17 million that are actually in circulation, that actually could be brought in and are sitting in wallets. that don't have anything to do with multi-signatures that could actually be sold in the community wallets that are out there. And the reason that I'm saying this is that, there's two things at work here. One is the app is getting very close to being 95 to 100%, where we're actually going to start promoting our socials. And we have an investment company that has been looking at us. They've actually made a deal with us. And actually, if we don't get the funds from them by July 31, they're going to raise the valuation of that investment by 25%. So they've actually allowed us to do that. So what does that mean? Is that we're going to have funds to sit there and attract people to the PPM token and to the actual app. But now let's just talk about the app, because we have all these companies that are out there that have 10,000 all the way up to 2 million that are getting ready to join us when the app is functioning perfectly. So when we bring in a company, and let's just say, because we've already done it once, we brought in a company with 35,000, what was the most that it had. If there are 35,000 brand new people that have just downloaded the app and they got involved because they said, you know what, we already have an organization here, and just simply by people switching from WhatsApp or switching to Telegram, they'll now be able to earning tokens. It's cost us nothing. It doesn't interfere with the product that we have. So people absolutely love this when they call us and discuss it with us from what they've heard from other people that have introduced it to them, or we've talked to them about this. So there's no negative side to this at all. It's a win-win situation for everybody. Well, if we've just introduced 35,000 brand new people, and they see the PPM token, even if 100 of them just go over and buy tokens off Pancake, that's going to greatly fluctuate the price. It would just take one person, one investor out of those 35,000 to go over and buy $10,000 worth today, would triple the price of the token, because there's such a small supply out there. There's such a small trading volume out there that just one $10,000 purchase would do that. So it's not going to take much for this token price to go up in value really quick. So all we're asking you to do is go and set yourself on the favorites and get notifications when it just goes up by 10%, which is going to be real easy. So over the upcoming weeks, we should be seeing some fantastic between the investment, all the people that want to join us, and the app actually working. So Marcus, if you think that I left out anything that might have been important when I was going over CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, feel free to jump in. Let me turn this back over to you.
No, you did a perfect job. Thanks very much, Albert. So the last thing I guess I want to say is that, we appreciate that it's been a long road as far as getting the app to where we need it to be. But certainly now is the time where we feel confident, where we can say, listen, go over, download the latest update version of the app, start messaging the people that are close to you, start using the app, getting familiar with it, start introducing new people. No, it's not perfect yet, but it's at a point where most of the key functionality is really working well. And over the next 4 weeks between now and the end of July, that's the time where we want to make sure that everything is where we want it to be, and we're proud of it. And we have any isolated issues identified, then you're going to start to see things move. So don't get caught with your pants down, your panda pants down, when the PPM token starts to move. And just want to say thank you to everybody for staying with us. And for those who have, you'll be glad that you did. And you know what? Make sure you're not in a position where you're resentful, because our community now, there's been around 1.5 million people have downloaded the app at some point in time. That's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. We're going to go from 1.5 million to 5 million people. So there's going to be a lot more new people join the app and join the company and purchase the token than already have it right now in a very short period of time. So now's the time to actually make sure that you prosper and you benefit from being that person who was with us during this pioneering phase. So thanks, everybody. Thanks, Albert, again. And look forward to seeing you guys on the next update call. We'll open it up so you guys can say good night, good evening, and good on you.
Marcus,
Good on you.
Yippee!
thank you.
Thank you.
Marcus, All right, Chris. Hello.
All right, thanks everybody.